Welcome to Girl Scouts of Northern California staff training covering electronic background screening using verified volunteers. This process was introduced September 2nd, 2014. Our goal is to give you an overview so that you can help our volunteers who have questions. Access the Girl Scouts of Northern California volunteer screening web pages from the For Volunteers menu on our public website. Mouse down to Volunteer Screening, then over to either Volunteer Screening or Electronic Background Check. The Girl Scouts of Northern California screening webpage at www.girlscoutsnorcal.org/screening explains which volunteers need to be screened. It also contains a link to the Electronic Background Check page. The Girl Scouts of Northern California Electronic Background Check webpage contains much useful information, such as the terms and conditions listed at the top of the page. The terms require self-disclosure of anything that the volunteer has in their background that could prevent them from being entrusted to work with children. This includes living with a registered sex offender. The Terms and Conditions section also includes a link to the GSNorCal volunteer management policies as shown here. This screening will be used for all new volunteers. Fingerprinting is no longer available, and reports from outside fingerprinting agencies are no longer accepted. Fees are $11.50 in most GSNorCal counties, which includes the criminal background check and a motor vehicle report. There is an additional fee of $15 in Shasta County and $5 in Humboldt County. There are three options for filing a background check. Number 1, self-pay, which will be used by the majority of our volunteers, is described here. Number 2, financial aid, the instructions for which are shown just below self-pay. Number 3, offline or paper instructions for completing the electronic background check are near the bottom of the page. First, I will show how the verified volunteers process works for volunteers who self-pay. Clicking the self-pay link takes you to Verified Volunteers website. First-time users click Create an Account. This site is accessible using all popular browsers, except Internet Explorer 8 or older. It is Mac compatible and optimized for tablets. The next screen asks you to create a login. If you mouse over Username and Password Requirements, a list of verified volunteer specs for usernames and passwords appears. Once your account is active, you click Get Verified to order your background check. You will then be asked to supply the good deed code. This code links your background check to Girl Scouts of Northern California. It is found on the Girl Scouts NorCal Electronic Background Check webpage. Before you begin the verification process, you should know that you own your Verified Volunteers background check, and you can share it with other Verified Volunteers client organizations. Verified Volunteers is growing its network of client organizations in California. Also, you should know that Girl Scouts of Northern California requires a Level 2 background check. If you have questions, please use the Learn More links under the seals. Step 1 of 4 involves entering your basic information. Individuals without a Social Security number should check the No Social Security Number box. Step 2 involves entering your driver's license information. Step 3 requires you to check a box which acknowledges your receipt of the Summary of Rights from Verified Volunteers. You may also ask to receive a copy of your completed background check. Step 4 requires you to verify your information at the top of the page. If you wish to have your Verified Volunteers background check shared with more than 2 organizations, you may wish to purchase a Volunteer Fast Pass for $3.99. A summary of your order is shown. Clicking Continue to Payment allows you to enter your credit or debit information and complete the transaction. Now I will cover the slight differences in the financial aid process. The first difference is the good deed code. It still comes from the electronic background check page at gsnorcal.org. It is just further down that page. The rest of the steps are the same until you reach step 4. There you are given the option of paying nothing by clicking Not at this time, or paying $5, $10, or $11.50. Before you continue to payment, you will see an itemized recap of fees, including your financial aid. The offline process for an electronic background check requires completing a form and sending it to the San Jose office. Instructions and a link to the form are on the electronic background check page at GirlScoutsNorCal.org, near the bottom of the page. Simply fill out the form and send it to the San Jose office. The address is on the form, on the electronic background check page, or shown here. For all types of screening, the response from verified volunteers is 5 to 10 business days. Members with no restrictions will continue to receive 2 reminder notices that their background check is expiring. Please contact Adult Screening at 800-447-4475, extension 8091, or Adult Screening at GirlScoutsNorCal.org if you have questions or concerns. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your service to Girl Scouts.